How's the water situation on the West Range, Ginny?
Well, it's about the same. It's supposed to rain, though, so that should help.
I'm beginning to learn that water's more precious around here than oil.
For a cattleman, it is.
I'll be a cattlewoman when I buy Morning Glory.
You know, that's not funny, Rena. You shouldn't have told Steve you were going to buy that heifer.
Why? Oh, that poor kid thinks that Morning Glory is a pet. It would be a shame if it was sold to a stranger. If we own it, he can come here any time he wants and see it.
Rena, we can't afford to buy it.
How much will it sell for?
A couple thousand, maybe less.
I can afford it, Max. If it makes Steve happy.
Rena, look, you just can't go around spending money to make everybody happy.
If I have the money, why not? Oh, that poor kitty was nearly hysterical thinking that he might lose that cow.
Money's not the answer to everybody's problems.
Oh, it sure helps solve Steve's problem.
Steve's real problem is with his father, and I think we should stay out of it.
That kid came by here last night to get some comfort from you. Now, you couldn't very well turn your back on him, could you?
No. But I have to be careful. Barrett is his father.
And for those 5 years while Barrett was away, you were the closest thing that he had to a father. You told me that yourself.
I know.
So I think that Barry should be grateful to you. The kid had to turn to someone.
But his father is back now, and it's time for me to move out of the picture.
I think Barrett should appreciate anything we can do for Steve.
Maybe he should, Rena. But I'm not so sure he will.
You know what Max taught me last night, Mom? What, honey? He taught me how to make a knot in the rope so there's no way it can come undone.
Well, that's a pretty good thing to know how to do.
And he showed me some real neat rope tricks that he learned from Mr. Coleman.
Oh. Finish your breakfast now, Steve, okay?
Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Max said he found some old boards up in the barn next to the cabin, and he said I could use them to build a shed for Morning Glory.
Steve, now, are you going to build that thing by yourself?
Oh, no, Max will help me. He's real good at those kinds of things. You know Old Man Harper, the guy that lives next to Max and Rena's?
Yes?
Well, he used to be a gold prospector. And there's one story he knows. It's really funny.
What are you talking about, Steve?
Nothing, Dad.
You were talking about Mr. Harper when I came in, weren't you? You know, your grandfather went on a prospecting trip with him. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
You know, I think I remember something about that. It was up in Colorado, wasn't it?
That's right. And you know what, Steve? They found enough gold to keep the ranches going for a couple of years.
When was that, Barry?
Well, it must have been the beginning of the Depression. Hit us hard in this part of Texas.
Dad,
Yes, son?
I go on that camping trip next week.
What camping trip?
The one I go on every year during Easter vacation.
You know there are 4 boys and their fathers that go, the Johnson boys.
Oh, yes, I think I remember you telling me.
Well, anyway, Max usually takes me. But this year he doesn't want to leave Rena. And I was
Well, you better cancel your plans this year.
Why?
Because I have some work for you to do here on the ranch next week.
That's my Easter vacation.
Which you'll be spending working on the ranch.
But, Dad...
End of discussion. I know that look, Steve. But I make the rules around here, not your mother.
I think you're being way too hard on Steve, Barrett. He's been looking forward to this camping trip for months now. It's an annual thing, and he
I
always...
was away for 5 years, remember? Now, how was I supposed to know?
I mentioned it to you.
You never said anything about being an annual camping trip.
Well, now that you know about it, why don't you go with him?
Because I already made other plans for him.
But it's a perfect opportunity for you and Steve to get close again.
There's too much work to do here on the ranch. And I want Steve to help with the chores. Jeb can tell you how much we need him.
I gotta get down the stairs.
Now tell Ginny what happened
Look,
down there.
it's between you and Ginny, all right? It's none of my business.
Well, it's obvious whose side he's taking.
Barry, we're talking about Steve.
Jeb knows that we lost 2 good men last week. Everyone wants to be a rodeo star. No one wants to put in a hard day's work anymore.
Barrett, please. Steve really has his heart set on this camping trip.
But he has to learn how the ranch is run. When I was his age, I worked weekends, holidays. I never got any time off.
You're being unfair. Steve does a lot of work around this house.
Yes, he reads books. When he's not reading, he's running track.
Honey, he's still a little boy.
Well, maybe it's time he grew into being a young man.
You're being unreasonable.
I don't think so.
Barry, please, it'll be good for him and for you.
No.
Max can take care of everything while you're gone.
I don't want to discuss it, Ginny.
Barrett, listen, you're not being fair to yourself either. Steven's your son. You should be spending more time with him.
Not on fun and games. I don't have time for that.
You don't have time for your son, but you certainly do have time to come to town to check up on me, don't you?
Ginny, don't get started on that again.
I saw you at the Top of the World Club when I was having lunch with Rena the
You
other
saw
day.
somebody who looked like me. I wasn't there. I ask any of the hands, they'll tell you that I never left the ranch.
I'm not going to talk to the ranch hands about you. You know that.
Well, then you'll just have to take my word for it. Because I was not at the World Building. I was not at the Top of the World Club.
I want to know what's going on.
I'll tell you what's going on. You're playing some kind of weird game with me. And I don't like it!
Kate said you stopped by a little while ago.
Yes, but you were taking a nap, and I didn't want to disturb you.
Tell me, how was your ride?
Oh, it was terrific. I rode all the way out to the West Range.
Oh, you had quite a ride.
It was nice. I'm sorry you can't ride anymore.
Well, the baby's more important.
Are you feeling better since our lunch the other day?
Yes, I'm fine now. I am a little embarrassed about all that, though, Rena.
Why? Because we left before lunch was served?
Well, I just wonder what those people at the Top of the World Club think about that.
Oh, don't worry about it, honey. Alfredo's used to seeing me leave before the meal was served. When I was married to Kevin, half the time we'd get into a fight before the entree was served, and then I'd storm out of the place. It was terrible.
I understand Steve had supper with you last night. He had a wonderful time.
Good.
I suspect, however, that he invited himself.
We enjoyed having him.
Are you sure he wasn't any trouble?
I am kind of worried about him, though, Ginny. He seems to be having some sort of problem.
Did he say anything to you and Max?
No, but we gathered it has something to do with Barrett. We'd like to help if we can. Now, if it's none of our business, you just tell me, all right?
Oh, Rena, no. It's okay. I really do appreciate your concern.
Well, you know how much Steve means to Max, and to me, too.
Yes, I know.
Is there a problem with Barrett?
Yes, he really hasn't been the same ever since Colonel Austin came in from Houston.
Is that the man that presented him with the medal?
Yes. But he presented the identical medal to Elliot Carrington.